This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shasheena. Rolle. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the level of social degradation on Grand Bahama continues to be a major concern for a leading government agency. Today, a top executive of urban renewal visited Grand Bahama to witness urban renewal in action firsthand and the significant ways this vital agency continues to impact lives on this northern island. Joan Davis-Roll has our top story.
The official visit to Grand Bahama by the co-chairperson of Urban Renewal, Cynthia Mother Pratt, signaling not only a renewed partnership with this local arm of this leading social agency, but also a testament of the transforming power of urban renewal. This as officials visited the home of a man once known as a veteran tourism ambassador during the heyday of Grand Bahama's hotel industry, Tyrone Frazier.
Today is a special day here in the life of urban renewal. Michelle Reckley and the team is doing a fantastic job in reaching people. You know, what's important about life today is that it's so uncertain. We're here to Mr. Fraser's home where he needs help. He has given to this country. He has paid his dues. He has touched many lives during his time, and now he's forgotten. But Urban Renewal have remembered him today. Ms. Reckley and the team is here today because we want to say thank you. We have a partnership going on that we are so grateful because Grand Bahama, Michelle has paved the way. She shows that we can do something with nothing. That's what's important. We don't sit there and cry over what we don't have. We use what we have in our hands. We go out and we open our mouths and we ask people, come and help us, because we're touching lives. Good to see you too.
Deputy Director of Urban Renewal Michelle Reckley says Mother Pratt's visit speaks volumes as the organization continues to positively impact the lives of many. They say there are countless persons on Grand Bahama who are struggling and find themselves in dire straits.
Today I'm excited to have with me Mother Pratt, who flew in from Nassau. And like she said, today she is in the right place at the right time. We're here visiting the home of Mr. Fraser. Last week, the team came here and they got the house all cleaned out. And Grand Bahama knows Mr. Fraser. He is no stranger. But today is his day. And he sits here not being able to see properly and could hardly do anything for himself. Neighbor just the other day was able to put the water on for him. He's in this home without electricity. And I'm appealing to Grand Bahama. Those of you who can, please come and share some love. Spend a little time with Mr. Fraser.
However, Urban Renewal is not alone. Local Government Chief Councilor Kevin Ferguson and the Freeport City Council threw a vehicle and a generator, and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force also providing much-needed resources and assistance. For Mr. Frazier, he now has a new lease on life.
We in the City of Freeport Council, we aim to assist in every which way we can. And of course, you could see we would have brought along our generator. The maintenance team of the City of Freeport Council would have brought along the generator and is able to give the Defense Force and the police and Urban Renewal power to assist this gentleman in some of the things that they want to do.
I feel like a king. It's my day today and tomorrow it's someone else, and so on and so on. And once we continue doing what we're doing, down the road we'll have so many that it will be, I thought, forgiveness.
We saw you giving Mrs. Reckley a big kiss a while ago. We saw you warmly welcoming Mother Pratt. What is that all about?
That is love.
Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS Network News.
The local business community coming together at the Grand Lucayne Resort Saturday evening for the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce's annual installation banquet. Business leaders on the island heard about plans to move Grand Bahama forward. Sabrina Brown reports.
Minister of State for Investments Kayla's Rolle noted that the country has not done a good job at business planning, which is the reason why our economy remains in limbo. He said the government is working to ensure growth and development on Grand Bahama.
One of the initiatives that the government has decided to undertake is a full-scale review of all of our processes for economic development. We look at the amount of money that we spend on subsidies, and to give you an example, when the government looked at what we were spending to keep Grand Bahama open, we were spending $29 million a year.
He said the government partnered with the private sector to save Grand Bahama's tourism product and has already reduced expenditure by some $15 million.
The Office of the Prime Minister, the Ministry of Tourism, the Grand Bahama Port Authority, as well as Hutchison Whampoa, we went out to look for a partner that had a model that we think would work for Grand Bahama. And we were able to attract Sunwing, who is a division of TUI, which is the world's largest tour operator.
The government is also placing emphasis on reviving the cruise industry on the island.
The government is currently working on the promotion of local entertainment, restaurants, nightclubs, music festivals, and craft markets featuring authentic Bahamian-made crafts. And all of these will provide entertainment for cruise ship visitors and entice them to explore the island and spend more money.
But the minister says the cruise sector provides many other opportunities.
There's an opportunity to have a factory in Grand Bahama to produce mattresses, pillows, bedding, and other soft furnishings for cruise ships. With this, our port can become the stopping point for refurbishing cruise ships. This is a service that can provide essential jobs for Grand Bahama, and this is only one example of the myriad of possibilities that exist here in Grand Bahama.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Well, President of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, Barry Malcolm, highlighting the significance of the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement. He said Freeport should have been much further ahead, as the 99-year agreement was designed to keep this island ahead of other destinations around the world.
The incentives now being successfully offered by these jurisdictions have been available under provisions of the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement for almost 60 years. This agreement was not a product of its time. It was and remains an elegant, forward-looking economic model decades ahead of its time. Regrettably, our policymakers for generations have struggled to wrap their heads around the concept that was meant to be Freeport.
And the business leader gave this suggestion on what is needed to put the country on a path to economic sustainability.
We need a vibrant, thriving, world-standard international business center in our country. We need a Freeport. Tourism and banking are sectors in which the challenges will not abate. Even if one day we discover the right niche, the holy grail of what should be our niche for these two sectors, we will face, in the case of tourism, fierce, brutal, continuing competition, and most of that competition coming really from within our own region. And in the case of financial services, we are likely to forever be constrained by Big Brother to the north and the OECD to the east.
In other news, the Bahamas Maritime Pilots Association was formed about 3 years ago to promote the safe and responsible operation of marine pilots. In order to promote this culture of safety, the association recently teamed up with an international body as well as implemented a new software.
Directing manager of the Bahamas Maritime Pilots Association, Aaron Ferguson, says that the pilot is the first Bahamian citizen on board a ship and that the pilot must be able to make safe decisions independent of commercial interests. Here in the Bahamas, pilots work for companies, and Ferguson contends that sometimes this is not always in the best interest of safety.
In most ports in the world, pilots are independent of industry, independent of the harbor, and the reason that is because pilots have to be able to make decisions based on safety. Pilots are essentially first responders, like ambulance police officers. They are the first person, usually first citizen of this country on a foreign-going vessel that is approaching the waters of the Bahamas. So the pilots have to be able to make decisions independent of, say, a company's schedule based on safety.
The BMPA has now implemented the Harbor Lights system, which will provide for a safe and efficient management of a harbor. He explains how this new system will benefit pilots as well as the islands and seas of Grand Bahama.
So we could help the business of Freeport to be enhanced and done quicker, faster, and safer. So the pilots want independence, and we're moving towards that. And we're introducing this software to show that our idea of independence is not just to be independent of the companies, but also to provide a safer service, a more professional service, and a more efficient service so that Freeport can benefit financially and commercially.
A strategic partnership has also been formed with the Houston Pilots Association. Vice President Captain Clint Winiger explains why Bahamian pilots should work independently. Designer and developer of the Harbor Light software, David Morrell, says that the system is fairly new and fills a niche in the maritime sector.
The importance of independent pilots is to have the local environment as a concern. So looking out for the safety of the harbor, the safety of the vessels. They live here. They have the ultimate responsibility for the citizens and the state of the country.
Harbor Lights is a harbor scheduling system that uses AIS, combines the two to make it the information as accurate as possible. Then it takes the information and moves it through harbor industry in real-time information. So everybody has the same information at the same time to help optimize decisions.
Currently, there are 17 active pilots in the association, including a female. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Now on to news from the crime beat here on Grand Bahama. Police officers are continuing investigations into an apparent armed robbery at a business on Carl Road. The incident occurred around 8 o'clock on Friday when two males entered a business establishment armed with a cutlass and demanded cash. The suspects then fled the area. Police are questioning several persons in connection with this incident. However, they are asking anyone with any information on the armed robbery to come forward. And investigations are continuing into an industrial accident that has left a male with serious injuries over in Bimini. The 27-year-old male, who is employed at a resort, was reportedly standing on a tractor head when the flatbed that was loaded with steel became disengaged and collided with his right leg, causing serious injuries. The accident occurred on Saturday afternoon. The man is currently detained in hospital in New Providence. Stay with us, the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition continues right after this.